Alright, what will we find next? Whether or not this incident actually happened, one of the world is the Ultimate Despair group, and they're devoted to a certain student who killed Hope Peak Academy, who guided Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction. Are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, the organization isn't one person, but a group. If they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they actually were able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then, are the killings who are involved in connected to them as well? It's no use. I'm going to freeze to death. I'm at my limit. I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Phew, that was close. I nearly froze to death, so where should I go next? Alright, I gotta find another area I can enter. Can I go over here? Nope, still blocked. Have I been in here 5B? I don't know. Nope. No, I should ignore it. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see him. Jeez. When I went inside the room, that bastard bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. It's gonna be shitty either way.
Damn right.
I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either. Oh, well, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right? What are you doing here?
No.
Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth? I should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place. A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots. I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up. What did you need to tell me? It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for.
What?
Surprise, it's about Ultimate Despair. Huh? Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days,
Actually,
it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive. A high school girl.
yes indeed.
Lady Junko Enoshima. Junko Enoshima?
Hey,
As the former Ultimate Despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the Ultimate Despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group.
with me.
Hold on a sec. I don't know what the Ultimate Despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl.
Unbelievable.
Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it.
Hey,
That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power. Her connections were the main reason the incident became the tragedy in the first place. So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat.
Huh?
Then what was their purpose?
Huh?
What? Like I said, why did they use that, or why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do that just without any purpose.
Hey,
It was Junko Enoshima's despair. Huh? For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima. What are you saying? I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair. Jesus, what the hell? With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the Ultimate Despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, and anything, really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea has been slammed right into their minds. And so the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Inashima. Like believers making offerings to their god, like a mother providing food to her children, they dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Inashima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. Ugh. What the fuck? And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something that they had to do. There's no way something that crazy is possible.
What?
Do you know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy at Hope Peak Academy? Final days?
In other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. She is also true of famous people throughout. This is also true of famous people throughout history. Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the Reserve Department?
of course.
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs, and they believed in what they needed to do. And so the 2,357 students of the Reserve Department all committed mass suicide. Mass suicide?
What'd you say?
All of the students? Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. One person? Is that me? I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate despair? Junko Inashima? It doesn't scare me at all. I mean,
Bastard.
Junko Inashima is already dead. Huh? Ultimate despair has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Reserve Department has been updated in your handbook. Check the Truth Bullets menu to review it. Huh. Are we done here? Junko Inashima is already dead, but what does that mean? Why does Fuyuhiko know about that? Oh, I gotta talk to him. Hey Fuyuhiko, is it true what you said? Junko Inashima is really dead? What? You didn't see? There was a book called Manga for Morons, Killing School Life in that bloody classroom. A bloody classroom? No, wait. What was that you said about the Killing School Life? Like the killings that we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Hope Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her.
Yeah.
That's what it was. The Killing School Life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy.
Hey.
For a manga about the Killing School Life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed Killing School Life was Junko Inashima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Inashima is dead.
Like...
It turns out that Killing School Life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope Peak Academy? And she took away their memories? That's just like us. Apparently the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's a limit to being a cruel asshole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing?
So...
The students of Hope Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko Inashima failed. Junko lost all the students she placed in a trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko's no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter. Junko Inashima isn't alive anymore. Then, who's our enemy? If Junko Inashima is already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that Killing School Life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation.
No shit.
If the students from Hope Peak Academy stop the real deal, then there's no way we'll lose to a fake. But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting somewhere, just like the surveillance cameras during the Killing School Life? That's actually a really interesting question. Is it just the same situation all over again? Man, Hajime, you totally know about that story, huh? What, do you have a problem with that? Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it. Oh, well, I'll just raise the flag. The flag? What do you mean, raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that? One step at a time, you're getting closer to clearing my character route. You're not making sense again.
Well now.
Now then, I'll give you my guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise them flags like crazy. What a surprise. You want to hear about the Ultimate Despairs again? No, I don't really need you to. Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days, it was actually a term used to describe Junko Enoshima. He started on his own. I'm not reading this again. Oh my god, he's going through the whole thing again. He says, fine already, you don't have to keep explaining. It's fine already, but I'm just getting to the good part. Good part or not, I already heard this from you before. Alright, so I can finally leave. Holy crap. Whoa! What the hell happened? It changed to a different hallway. It's so sudden what's going on to make something like this happen. I've already decided I'm not going to be surprised. Can't read it. That's right, there's no time for me to be surprised by something like this. Good lord. Alright, well, let's see what's down here.